What's going on, Nerd Army, guys? Welcome to the newest episode of Nerds Mirage. Today, guys, we are going to continue our journey into the world of The Last Kingdom, Netflix's hit show about the Viking and Saxon era. And I'm really excited because I love this show so much. I have seen it all the way through, but today we're going to be talking about season number 1, episode number 3. So let's jump back in with Uhtred and the boys and find out what's going down. Here we go. So we start off with Alfred having his brother's body brought back to the city of Wessex after he was injured in battle. And then Beocca goes to Uhtred and kind of gives him a little rundown. Hey, you're the reason that they won this battle. Even though the king was hurt, they won this battle triumphantly, beat the Danes, and it's all because of you. You're going to be the hero of Wessex. Uhtred gets a little up in arms because he did offer his sword to Alfred, and Alfred didn't really trust him, so he kind of kicked him to the curb. Uhtred's kind of pissed about that, and he said, I won't fucking offer it again. Alfred's going to have to come beg on his knees. Just kidding about that last part, but that would be funny. Young Ada comes and sees the drunk-ass young Ethelwald in the motherfucking bar and tells me, you know what, dude, your dad's about to die. If I were you, I'd go whisper in his ear and say he whispered that you're going to be the king. And they can't deny you because it was on his deathbed. And so he's like, fuck yeah, drunk or not, I'm going. So Appa shows up to check on how the battle went, and Guthrum kind of tells him, you know what, I killed the king. And he's like, did he die? I don't know. I got him. Yeah, so no one knows if he died. Appa's like, until he's dead, motherfucker. He didn't get anybody. We have a little quick talk with Brita and Uhtred, and she kind of just throws him and tells him, you know what, bitch, he fucking owns you now. You know that, right? Then we get Ethelwald getting out of his drunken stupor in the pig pen and heading in to go see his pops to go get his little last word, little bullshit pulled on him. And he gets there and his dad's already dead, but he still walks over to the thing. Didn't you guys hear? His last words were, I'm going to be king. Me. I'm his heir. Not anyone else. Me. I'm drunk, but hold on. I might need some coffee. But I'm the king. He wants this to be heard, and he wants the Witten to talk about it. But then Ada also was told by the king prior to this that he wants Alfred to be his heir. His brother is going to be his heir, not his son, because his son's a fucking worthless piece of shit. Make sure my brother's heir. That's what he told Ada. Ada's going to make sure that shit goes down. Ethelwald is pissed that he knows Alfred's probably going to be king instead of him, and he sees a servant girl taking him apples and milk, and he fucking hocks a loogie in the motherfucking milk. Douchebag. Alfred sends young Ada to go visit with the Danes and give them a message. While all this is going on, Alfred gets a little bit of sexy time with the little servant girl that was bringing him apples earlier and decided to not give him the shitty milk. And then Beocca walks in as he's starting to get a little handsy. And then, bone her down. Just fucking, it just drops, yeah. Too late, he got caught. Little Ada meets with Guthrum and agrees to meet with the king and kind of hash this shit out. But before he does that, he's like, bitch, get off my horse. He's like, this is my horse. No. That's my horse. If you want to walk away from here, that's my horse. Get to walking, girly. So we get to see Brita go out to the wilderness and whip herself up a little Viking mushroom surprise and start tripping balls and looking for fucking answers to her questions from the gods. You get it, Brita. Shroom it up, girl. So Alfred is brought before the king and is given a thing of chainmail in honor of him becoming a soldier for England and not a Dane soldier. You need the proper armor. And so he's just looking at like, what the fuck? And then Little Ada's talking shit. And so Little Ada is actually made to bow before Uhtred, which is awesome. And then Uhtred is told, you know what, he's told by Alfred that I'm not going to give you fucking own land. I'm not going to make you an ealdorman out of nowhere. But I can give you a wife to marry so you can marry into your own land and your own group and your own little area of land that you still work for me, but you'd be an ealdorman with your own land and your own soldiers. So what is it? Would you like that or nothing? Ultimately, this would help him to be seen as a man of Wessex into the future and help his future endeavors of him getting Bebbanburg back. This is all a good thing in over the overall opinion, but he knows it's going to tie him to Alfred, and he doesn't really want that. And I mean, I get it. He wants to do what he wants to do. He doesn't want to have to convert to this faith either. He wants to believe in his gods. Good going, bro. Uhtred and Brita sit down and they talk about her shroom trip and the vision she saw that the gods pointed her towards Ragnar's ship. And he's like, that's great, but I got to stay here. And she's like, well, you weren't on the ship with me. It was just me and Ragnar and his men. So, yeah, peace out. Alfred is becoming king and being crowned king, and there's a big ceremony and everyone's there, all the important people, and this kind of gets Brita and Uhtred horned up, so they go back into the hallway just around the corner, and Brita getting her titties sucked. Uhtred pulls them out, starts sucking on them, starts fucking her up against the window, all while these churchy, Bible-thumping motherfuckers in here crowning a goddamn king, God's king. Some girl over here is getting pounded out of wedlock. Yeah, God's not happy. Alfred and Uhtred go and meet with Appa and Guthrum, and they are just pissed that they see Uhtred and that this motherfucker should have been dead with his daddy. And yeah, so they're fucking heated, and they offer Alfred, like, you know what, just give us some money and give me that motherfucking traitor's head, and we'll call it a day. And Alfred's like, that ain't part of the deal, bitch. Here's your motherfucking silver. Get out my fucking lands. And he's like, nah, I want his fucking head. And he's like, well, that ain't going to work for me, bitch. And just walks the fuck away like a goddamn gangster. Doesn't even flinch. Get it, Alfred. You a scrawny little bitch, but you awesome. Alfred actually gets Uhtred to take a vow and swear his sword to Wessex for at least 1 year's time. And if doing that, he will help Uhtred get Bebbanburg after that point. And it seems like a sweet fucking deal. Help out for a year, get some money, maybe a wife, some poontang, maybe some kids, some land, and then get your home fucking castle back. Hell yeah, sign me up. Where's the paper? So then we get to see Brita running out to the woods, and she's having a miscarriage. She is miscarriaging her and Uhtred's child, which is always rough. Personally, my wife and I have had some miscarriages in the past before we had our 3 beautiful boys, and it's not fun, guys. And she was doing this shit in the woods all alone, nothing to help her with. That's fucked up. So Uhtred is doing his part and takes Leofich and the rest of the soldiers out to the fucking battlefields and is teaching him how the motherfucking shield wall works. These Danes whoop that ass with the shield wall. So now they're going to know it. They're going to know the weaknesses, how to make their own, and how to just be badasses in battle. Getting trained by a Dane himself. Can't go any better than that. So yeah, Uhtred's jumping in, training these motherfuckers. Leofich still ain't giving him no respect, but he's getting there. Starting to ease in. Brita digs up some dirt and starts to take a withdrawal from the Bank of Ragnar when someone cloaked approaches her and knows her by name. So Leofich and Alfred, afterwards, the training is over. They are eating, having a little meal together, and Leofich basically tells him, like, you're doing the right thing, but just watch your back, because Alfred is ruthless and he's extremely intelligent. So watch yourself, son. Drunk ass Ethelfred rolls up and starts talking some shit. Leofich kind of puts him in his place and tells him, you ain't the king, bitch. I will slap the shit out of you. I love Leofich. He's a gangster. And then Uhtred, all wasted, goes back to Brita and gets a little surprise. Alfred meets with Ada and kind of has to talk to him and say, you know what, I want Uhtred to marry a good girl, a good Christian girl, so he can be brought in and become an elderman and be on my side since he's going to be working for me for the next year. How about your goddaughter? So Uhtred and Brita go out and they meet with young Ragnar, who was the cloaked figure we heard earlier, and he is kind of pissy, like right off the bat, thinking he's all this shit may be true. I gotta ask him. So he asked him, like, did you kill my fucking dad? Did you kill our father? He's like, no, I would never kill our father. He was my fucking father too. I love that guy to death. And it's great because young Ragnar is just like, I know you wouldn't do that. I heard this shit and I was like, bullshit. He would never do that. That's his daddy too. Fuck that. My brother would never do that. And he didn't. So they give each other a big embrace. And it's really heartwarming to see that young Ragnar is not jumping to the fucking conclusions that Appa did. And I think Appa set all this shit up, so fuck that guy. Uhtred explains that he just gave his word and signed himself for 1 year to Alfred. And young Ragnar is like, you know what? Keep your word. Your word is is everything. So keep your word. Let's do this shit. Do your time. Brita will come with me. We got this shit. We're going to plunder. We're going to knock some shit out. And maybe by then you could rejoin us. Cool. So Uhtred and Leofich get this little drift off at the top of this mountain watching the boats leave. And it's pretty cool because Leofich and him seem like they're going to be pretty close friends. And I'm really excited because Leofich is a cool motherfucker and he's a badass. So let me know what you guys thought about this episode down in the comments down below. Personally, I loved it. I thought it was really cool. We finally get some step forwards with Uhtred. We get to see young Ragnar's back and he's not pissed at Uhtred. This is just a big old fucking misunderstanding and someone needs to die. So guys, let me know your guys' thoughts and who's your favorite character so far in this series. Me personally, I gotta go with Uhtred and young Ragnar. Brida's a fucking gangster though. I can't get over Brida. She's so dope. I really don't like Alfred. Ethelfred's a fucking twat and I want to kick him in his fucking butthole. But guys, let me know your thoughts down in the comments down below. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel to keep up with all the videos we put out every week. We do other series besides The Last Kingdom. We also do Game of Thrones, and we'll be doing the Game of Thrones prequel and other shows in the future, guys. Let me know your thoughts, and I will see you next time right here on Nerds and Rice for some more Last Kingdom. All right, guys. Peace out.
Yo.